Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for your patience. And welcome back to a long-awaited edition of BoltBlitz Uncut. I'm reverbing a little, I hear it. Thank you for your patience regarding that. But my man, 80 Simons over there across the pond. Chargers pull off the, I don't know what you call it over there, but it's a sweep over here. Chargers sweep the Chiefs. Your expectations and how do you feel about this team moving forward?
It's kind of bend, don't break. I wasn't expecting this to win, and I don't think many people outside of the Chargers Bowl did. But it was not a pretty performance, but the only thing that matters is the win. So, it was nice. We saw some nice moments, some good performances. Everybody got involved. A lot of injuries. That causes some injuries on the Chiefs side. It's. I wasn't expecting this, but it was a great game. Really, really good game to watch. Not pretty, not a great game of football for most people to watch, but it was a win, and that's the only thing.
It felt like an old Big Ten game to me. It was just a weird game with a little fluky stuff. Make the right plays at the right times when it counts. And the Chargers pull up out of this game with another W. They're 10-4. My in the middle record prediction was the 9-8, 10-7. Sorry for being lame. 80. I don't know where you were on that. I think you were pretty similar to me.
I had 1 to 2 games worse than last year because I wasn't a fan of this draft, this most recent draft, and our strength of schedule was a lot worse than last season, so I wasn't really expecting.
We see you, Oscar. Keep going, 80.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting us to be where we are. There's a lot of games where I was expecting us to just be nowhere near where we are now. So pleasantly surprised, but I'm not overly optimistic about going into the playoffs. I think it'll probably be another first round exit.
A one and done.
Yeah, I
don't know.
Looking at the way things are now in the playoffs, it's like I'm not overly. It's like, if it's nice, I'll be happy, but I'm not expecting stuff next year.
Hey, I love that part. But let me go back though. Let me go back and help you out, and anybody else who may be on the same team with you regarding the fact that this team is not exactly ready right now, and maybe they aren't, but there are a lot of things that you can look forward to and piggyback off of regarding. They do have some solid, regardless of the really bad offensive line. You can't really game plan for both Alt and Slater going down. That being said, they could have game planned to have the rest of the interior replaced, and then the Becton experiment. I'm just fucked off.
He's just like a 350-pound bag of, like a burning bag of dog shit at this point.
He's just there taking up space, man, and not in a good way. Because I know a lot of dudes that size that could take up space that in a good way, and he doesn't do shit.
No. So yeah.
But anyway, but my point is, sorry, forgive me for cutting myself off. There are a lot of promising players on each side of the ball, and even on special teams. J.K. Scott had an all right one. He had one punt I was not too proud of. But let me tell you, prior to that, the last few weeks, he's been stellar. Cameron Dicker is Cameron Dicker. Can we make sure that we get him to the Pro Bowl? Whoever is out there who's listening, make sure that we get him there.
Yeah, he's on massive.
We talked about the sacks, the D-line, Adafe Owe with 2, Tuli Tuipulotu with 2, and then Mac had one that we both missed.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing that at all. Because between running back between my main lounge and the office room, I was like, I missed it. I really did.
But 5 sacks is a solid game. You want to see 7, 8, obviously, but I think 5 is okay considering you came away with a W.
Yeah, so winning that turnover battle, and like I say, the sacks and that too. It's like, I'm happy with that.
So nobody celebrates injuries of any team on this show. We obviously saw Mahomes go down. Don't you dare. I know what you're thinking. We don't celebrate that shit. But when Mahomes went down and we saw Minshew in, how pissed were you when they completed that fucking third down and got 15 right off the clip?
Yeah, they sat back into like a deep zone with like 1st and 20, and yeah, they just literally do what everybody always does. They give.
Hold on. Also, we got Oscar updating us on the Colts game. Rivers just threw a touchdown.
I'll catch up with that after we finished here, but yeah, you sit in soft zone. That's how he made his career. Like he'll find a soft zone, turn round, and yeah, he'll get you 10 yards. And it's like I think he got 11 yards off that one pass, and it's just like you don't do that. You go pressure Gardner Minshew. He doesn't have the mobility that Mahomes does. He doesn't
Not anymore, and he hasn't for a long time.
No, you go pressure him. You get in his face. It's just like it's frustrating. Totally frustrating to see that you just sort of sit back.
Well, without infuriating the fan base after a huge win over the Chiefs, 16-13, Minter and his lack of a blitz, does that bother you moving forward, especially when you – and by the way, I was pushing cars out of ditches and I bit the shit out of my tongue, so I got a little bit of a weird list, by the way, just so everybody knows. It's fucked up, man. But I'm trying my best. When you see the lack of blitzing and how often they don't do it regardless of who they're playing, does it bother you, concern you, especially when you look toward, thinking about the playoffs?
Not so much because a blitz is like 5+ men coming downhill. As long as you keep it consistent with Mac, OA, and Thule playing inside. Now, Thule is an inside pass rusher. Don't call him an edge. He's not an edge rusher. He's inside. You line him up as a free tag and just let him go. You will get pressure all day with him doing that. You just need.
They won't do it.
Season, give him a couple of cheesecakes. Get him to 290 pounds.
5 cheesecakes.
Yeah, cheese. Yeah, and then bring in another nose tackle. Missing Poona Ford has shown up a lot on tape this year.
And I bet that's hard for you to say. I remember, he's a nubby nose tackle. No way.
Nah, he's just like, yeah, whatever. Now with Tier Tart and Ogbonia, they're nowhere near level of production. Tier Tart, yeah, you gotta like him, but he's not that great.
He is. So what I love about Tart is that he comes up real big and kind of not awkward, but random situations. But there are too many times where you need the double blocker occupier to really occupy 2 blocks, and you don't necessarily see him do that all the time, and that's frustrating.
Yeah, so what I did on Twitter, I put out a lot of tape and kind of explained a lot of stuff in previous weeks where in situations where a center's able to get leverage.
Hey, look at your boy Oscar.
Yeah, played 45, played in the. I know. He was bought in for Brandon Staley as the long-term successor for Morgan Fox in that three-man front. So, but he went from 290 to 265 between final year and the combine, and never put the weight back on, and never developed a proper toolbox to be an edge rusher. But when it comes to Tier Tart, what you'll find is in situations where a center is able to get good leverage on him, it kind of frees up a guard to climb up into the next level. And in a lot of situations, the yards before contact goes up a lot when he's able to get manhandled. So that essentially the run game through the A and B gaps comes through him, and he's been stood up by one man. Where as a nose tackle, you need more than that. And Jamari Caldwell isn't a nose tackle. He's built like one. He isn't. So
yeah, that hurts my feelings, but I'm starting to lean that way as well. Couldn't help that.
I was the first person when Jamari Caldwell was drafted. I said the same. It was like, oh yeah, he's going to be a nose tackle with pass rush ability, and a lot of the scouting reports said that. And when you weren't really seeing him put in pass rush,
when he was with Houston in college, I beg to differ. When he was at Houston, they put him in pass rush situations, and he ate all day.
Yeah, because they ran like a 3 and 4 man front. I mean, he was an edge rusher at some points in some of their fronts. But yeah, it was only his final year at Oregon where 30% of his snaps were actually as a nose tackle. And again, you see it on tape. He's built like a nose tackle, but he doesn't play like one.
Bolt fam, here's a little draft project, if you will. Find a good interior defensive lineman that Ortiz has drafted, more than a couple, and I don't mean Nada or anybody like that, because he was there, but we need a break. But let's think about what he's done regarding the interior defensive line.
Yeah. When Nata was drafted, I think he was like I think he was a scout at that point because there is a really old video on YouTube of him with hair.
Ortiz with it.
I mean, it could practically be grainy looking from like the late 90s. Like
I got a lot of those videos, man.
like double denim with like jet black hair, and I'm like, that's Joe Ortiz. Yeah, because I've done a lot of tape on him and like positions where he's been better and worse at, and because I go through a lot of his interviews and where he's kind of like pre-draft talked about certain positions. I mean, I'm still 99% positive that we never meant to draft Murray in Hampton. If you know about the Eagles thing,
I know. By the way, for anybody who thinks he's being unserious, no, he's been saying this for a very long time. Pretty much from draft night on.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, we had a trade in place with the Eagles, and
for Jihad Campbell, we all know who it was.
They were trying to trade up to get Jihad Campbell, and for whatever reason, the Eagles never put the trade through to the league office, and the Chargers didn't know about it until 45 seconds left on the clock. And they picked the phone up and like, what's going off? I was like, oh no, we're not doing that now, and we almost lost that pick. So the whole act of drafting Amari in Hampton was literally an act of desperation last minute. Yeah. So I'm not... He was probably top of the board at that point. It was just like, yeah, we'll just get him. But the Chargers agreed to draft down to 32. And I'm 99% convinced because of Joe Ortiz's pre-draft statements. They were going to go after Mason Taylor.
Tight end.
Tight end from who ended up. I think he was the first pick of the second round to the Jets. Yeah, he
within the first call. I don't know exactly, but man, he would have looked good if they actually would have. I don't know, given Greg Roman the tight end he deserved to have.
Yeah, that's the guy. And if you look at the guys who are free agents this year, Zach Ertz just tore his ACL. Mark Andrews just signed back with the Ravens. There's nobody. So we literally, unless we draft a guy, there's not a lot of guys who can actually. There's not a lot of guys who can do what Greg Roman wants. So the only guy I can really think of at the top of my head now is a kid out of Cincinnati who will be probably a second or third rounder. He's built like an NFL tight end. He's very productive in Cincinnati, and that's where Kelsey came from. So we're going to
both Kelseys. And by the way, you and I have talked about this a lot. Travis Kelce, though he's been viewed as just a Y slot for, I don't know, 8 or 10 years. He was an incredible blocker at Cincinnati.
His draft profile on NFL.com, go check it out if you don't believe me, actually talks about him being more of an inline blocker than a pass catcher. It was only after Tony Gonzalez retired, they bought, and that's when they kind of opened more of the passing game up through Andy Reid and so on. Yeah.
We got our boys, both Oscar and David Shaw, in the chat. This is perfect. We just talk shit about whatever we want. Guys, don't get political.
We got here.
Well, let's have a little fun. Chargers 16. Chiefs 13. It's not exactly an outcome that I was expecting, especially when I look at this prior to the season starting. When you get this late in the year and you go to Kansas City, you expect an incredibly cold game. And by the way, it was single digits there, of course, and I had so many people that were in the building. Arrowhead Stadium or whatever the fuck it's called now, Geehaw Field or whatever.
Yeah, GAGC Field at Arrowhead Stadium, something along those lines.
No, that's Arrowhead to me, man.
Yeah.
If the Murph was still standing, it would still be the Murph, even though everybody does. I don't give a fuck.
No, the
Chargers, big victory. Oscar, love the update, by the way. Green Bay 16 over Denver 14. The more dubs for the Bolts, the better. Obviously, the Chargers are about to face off with those Broncos soon enough. Can't wait to see that game. Hampton, a little underwhelming on a lot of carries for a guy like me, especially how much I love him and how much you hate him. But 61 yards on 15 carries. That's a pretty decent output considering the offensive line in front of him. Yeah. What would those numbers look like with an Alton, a Slater on the field?
Oh, well, they'd be running a lot more off to the left.
Always left.
Those two. Always.
Even with Zion, right?
Yeah, I mean they run a lot of that pin and pull, which has always been there prior to Salia coming in. That was the most successful run they actually had. It was something ridiculous, like 6.2 yards per attempt.
And then they got away from it, though, 80.
Right, so I'm going to say this. So everybody's been talking about, why haven't you put Salia in? Why haven't you put Salia in? That's the reason why they haven't been putting Salia in. So Hobber's openly said that they don't believe that he's a good enough athlete to be able to run those off-tackle stuff. Now, they ran a little bit during the first game. I think Vidal got that big touchdown, but he was Salia was really slow out of the blocks to actually make those plays. Penning is a good enough athlete to do it. Deculus is a good enough athlete, but what you gain in the run game, you lose in the passing game, and you can't use tight ends and fullbacks to prop up one useless right tackle to then have to go to a useless left tackle. So everything will look different next year when you've got two Pro Bowl level tackles, assuming that they're both going to be healthy to come back next season. Because I'm still not 100% convinced about Rashawn Slater being healthy for the start of next year. Well, from what I know, I don't expect him to be on the field for the start of OTAs. Put it that way.
Well, and by the way, for those of you who aren't tuned in to is there an underscore in the middle?
No, it's just at AD Simons on
Twitter. ADYSIMONS. Listen, correct. He attended the Duke Manyweather Summit, if you will, over there in the UK. If you're not paying attention to what he has to say about the offensive line, you're missing out. You're not having anything to do with what he has via his now X account that is flourishing. You're really missing out. Make sure that you take the time to just literally type in what is it? It's, I think, 8 letters, 7 letters. Come on, go figure it out, guys. He's a great find. And he'll make you laugh, too, because he's a lot funnier than he's really going to ever let on. He makes me laugh all the time. You know what really made me laugh is the fact that people have continuously tried to sell Justin Herbert under the river. It doesn't matter what numbers he puts up. They're 10-4. At what point does the rest of everybody who's denigrated him to nothing say, "Oh, I don't know, he keeps winning"? Or I know that's not a QB stat, but it matters to me.
I think the first playoff win. He needs that. He needs a playoff win. Without that, he's just going to be a good.
Then he's media fodder.
Yeah. Then I think people will calm down a little bit, but he doesn't clap back at people, so he just takes it on the chin and just doesn't talk. Which
he doesn't clap back at people in the media, but he claps back on the field.
Oh yeah, he talks. Max Crosby a couple of weeks ago found that out. He's not
Philip, but you know what we mean. Hey, if anybody who's listening, of the 3 people listening, let us know how that Colts game's going, please. But keep it quiet if it's bad. 80. Do you have the schedule in front of you by any chance? Who do we have left here?
Yep, we have next week. We've got the Cowboys in Jerry World
in Dallas.
Yeah, I was going to go to that game, but obviously it's Christmas, and my friend who used to work for the Cowboys doesn't work for the Cowboys anymore. So
Jinxes.
Yeah. So I played for a long time. For anybody who doesn't know, I did play in the UK, and been to a couple of camps across in the States.
Hey, hold on. Can I interrupt? Let me interrupt. 80 was not just a player. He was a legit player on the other side, where he's gotten so much attention that I heard about him before he knew that I heard about him.
Yeah. So
80. Our relationship started before you even knew.
So yeah, I played for a team called the London Warriors the last couple of years of my kind of playing career, and our defensive coordinator is now the DC over in Seattle. He was the D-line coach for the Cowboys. He's now in Seattle, and there's a few other guys that I've been around with who have been in the NFL. But I was going to go to the Cowboys game, but obviously it's a bit too close to Christmas for me to get in and out and have some fun. So
after Dallas, where do they go next?
It is, I believe it's a home game versus the Texans. That's the one that everybody's looking at. From after last year's playoff game, that's the game everybody's kind of on edge.
It's a fair trepidation, though, wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
people should be worried.
Yeah, that defense are going to hunt. And then
you're right.
Final, yeah, I'm cool. And then the final game is Denver in Denver, and that's for all the marbles. By the look of it, that's going to be number 1 seed. That's going to be. That's going to be the AFC West, and that'll be us sweeping all 3 teams, which will be nice. And that's probably going to be for the number 1 seed as well. So that determines a lot, and it just means that every game's going to go through the SoFi Stadium. And the
AD,
AFC.
I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt you, but I'm getting a buzz in my ear right now. Is it true that the Chargers have not lost to an AFC West team this year?
It is absolutely 100% correct. You're absolutely
oh my God, I'm hearing my ear as well.
We have
what
absolutely
the fuck,
swept everybody so far.
One more.
Yeah.
What? You didn't expect that, not for a fucking second. Yeah! He's got the broom out, the mini broom too, you motherfucker.
Yeah. I had to pop next door to go get my broom, but yes, we've swept everybody so far, and it's been good. There's been bad. There's been some ugly moments, and there's been some absolutely ridiculous.
But it's still real, and they've done it, man. One more, obviously. That week 18 game is incredibly huge.
Yeah, that's going to be a prime time. That's going to get. I can imagine that's going to get.
Oh, they'll flex it.
That's going to flex out, which is not nice. Even if you're there, it's not nice.
Yeah, so it's definitely not nice for you.
Oh no, it'll be starting at 2 a.m.
Yeah, right.
So a couple of years ago, I was at Chargers Chiefs at SoFi, and that game got flexed out. So this was supposed to be a game where we planned everything to be like at the SoFi for midday. It got flexed out, and like I had my toddler with me. He was less than a year old at that time, but we had these tickets to. Yeah, we were at the game, and I remember a point where like Derwin James lit Travis Kelce up. I mean, absolutely just beat the dog snot out of him. 80,000 people were absolutely screaming. I look across and my toddler's just out. He's just fast asleep.
I don't know who this is, but Dole Whip is saying, why are Chiefs fans mad at us from Mahomes Hospital? They shouldn't be. It's not our fault.
I mean,
he was literally laying wide receivers out to dry.
Yeah, his knee buckled. So when Hand pursued him and dived for him, he put his arms out to try and wrap his legs up, and his knee buckled. It's like, it's not a dirty play. It's not a horrible play. Unlike, say, a couple of those.
No, it wasn't dirty. But what I love about that is Dole Whip. If you've been here, my apologies. But what I love about the defense tonight is if you were going to catch the ball in the cold, you were going to find out about it.
Yeah.
You were going to find out about it.
Yeah, Tony Jefferson was hunting today, and that was beautiful.
Oh, you're getting ejected with shit.
Yeah. It was nice.
I can't wait till he comes back. He's going to hit somebody else in the mouth. Let's go.
I saw his interview after the game, and apparently after he went off, he made some relatively rude gestures towards Chiefs fans. But he did apologise for that afterwards. It was just like, yeah.
No, he doesn't moment. We can let it go.
Yeah, he was like, oh, I'm sorry, there was children there. I'm a better man than that.
Look at this. It felt like we had 3 Derwins today. Derwin had a big one, too.
Yeah.
Who is this cat? All right. Welcome.
This is fun. It's like, it was like some proper hitting. It was
like all the way hitting. Let's go. Yeah. Welcome. No,
this is December
you
football.
Just got here. It feels like you've been here forever.
Yeah, it's like real December football now.
As we look forward to January, and maybe further on into that biggest chart. Oh, I know who that cat is.
That's John. That's Mr. Kelly.
That's Tags.
I know. It's Hookham. Okay. Hookham. I'm seeing that.
Hookham. Hey, my pops. My pops.
He likes really average college teams.
By the way.
Yeah. Kegley likes really average college teams.
You fucking asshole.
Oh, bless him. He's coming. Yeah, he's
Go with man. We appreciate you so much, man. Thank you so much. We're trying to pay a little more attention
come back
to the chat. Yeah, stick around. We're trying to figure some shit out. We have no idea what the thumbnail will look like for this, but we're just glad people are tuning.
Yeah, so we've been away for a few weeks after having a few issues, like there's a few technical issues away from the camera. So we're kind of soft relaunching the show today just to get in there, and it's been fun. It'll be a fun time.
It's been really, you know what? I love that 80 was so delicate and kind about that. Here's the deal.
Okay.
We were dealing with some absolute fucking bullshit, and now we're trying to sort through the bullshit. And we all know that the pile of bullshit gets so high, there's a lot of wading through all that bullshit to really get to where you want to be. Oh, thank you, go with. Yeah, I know I am that a little.
Okay. Yeah, we kind of suspected that might happen at some point.
But anyway, we're trying to sort all that sound stuff out. Thank you so much, go with.
Yeah, but everything's been... Yeah, so this is kind of the first show we've done in about 3 weeks, and we'll get through to it, and we'll kind of clean everything up. We have a new show producer coming in, joining us relatively soon, and we're
on a completely different platform.
Yeah, we're moving platforms as well, getting away from this, and it's just like, there'll be a lot of changes over the next couple of weeks, but we'll try and get in there as often as we can, and we will be with you, everything Chargers related on a Sunday.
Sunday, post-game, Tuesdays, Thursdays, whatever we figure out. Sorry about the echo. I feel like we have a little bit of momentum here, and I think it's a good time for us to cut this shit short. 80 Simons, if you don't mind, will you tell everybody where they can find you without my echo in the background?
Cool. So on Twitter, at AD Simons, so that's ADYSIMONS. I talk mostly about offensive line stuff, offensive line, tight end, and apparently I'm like regarded as being Greg Roman's burner account, or sometimes even Bradley Bozeman's burner account.
That's me. I'm the Roman burner account. Bullshit.
Yeah. So like, I stood up for Bradley Bozeman over a lot of stuff from the Eagles game, and I got I got so much grief from everybody. Like some of the bigger platforms were like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." Literally the day after I said this is what happened, Chargers beat writers Jim Harbaugh, Herbert himself said everything. I was right the whole time, and I did get a message from Bradley Bowman's wife on Twitter, like she liking all of my tweets, like spelling out why Bradley Bozeman wasn't actually.
You had his back.
Yeah, well,
he did call. Listen, all right. Can I put a bow on this? I'm so sorry to interrupt. Bozeman called the alert. It was on 10. Is it? They Vidal has already flexed off the hip of the left tackle. We've already fucked it up. Like that was goofy. I don't care who the running back is, have him in there. But it's not about any of that. It's just nobody's ever going to fucking know. And how long have we spent talking about this shit?
Oh, it's been, I mean, out of the 4 plays where like people have been kind of pointing fingers, majority of people have been like talking about the one play when the Kobe Dean came down the right side A-gap. And from the moment the ball snapped, you can tell what the play is. And this is like, Herbert needs to be better there. He needs to call the plays better. And
he has to know. You know exactly what happens. Aiden, you played along. I know you were predominant. No, you were just a left tackle, huh?
Yeah, just.
You were just the important side. No, stop. I don't mean it like that. I just mean you got to watch the machinations along that line. You know how it works, especially being that blindside protector. That's Bozeman, but at the same time, we know what the leisure and the leash that Penn has.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So to kind of put this whole story to bed, regarding to that play, you see Bozeman call an alert out from the Kobe Dean coming. He's like 7 yards deep. He comes 3-4 yards toward the line of scrimmage, and you see him calling the alert out. At that point, Justin Herbert has to change the protection. because Bozeman, Zion, and Salia are all sliding to the left. That's what the play calls for, and that which leaves a massive gap for him to come up and make the tackle, because there's nobody in the backfield. And I actually did have a chat with Daniel Popper on Twitter for this, and we both agree. The play should have been changed to something. He should have brought Kamani Vidal back into the backfield and changed the protections around, but he didn't, and that was the result. But ultimately, when Corey Linsley was the centre, he was de facto the second QB.
You fucker! You beat me to it.
Yeah, so when Corey Linsley was the centre, he was de facto QB2, because he controlled everything. Everything went through him.
Let me just say one thing.
Go on.
All he does is he still calls the right alert, and he still tries to do the half slide left, but he flashes right with his eyes, doesn't he? As soon as he taps it.
Yeah, but when a defense shows you something, under Lombardi, he had the power to change everything around, because as a young QB coming from Oregon, Justin didn't have that knowledge at that point yet, and some players don't.
He had four fucking offensive coordinators in 5 years between his last 3 years at fucking Oregon and then his first 2 years with the Chargers.
Yeah, and then I think one of his final years, the play calling was done using big.
It was just giant cards, dude.
Yeah. It was pictures of ducks and numbers
weird
and snakes.
shit.
And it's just like you can't read defenses by that. And it's just like a weird thing. And it's like the first couple of years are really important for a young QB to have a guy like Corey Linsley who can take control at the line of scrimmage. But once Linsley had gone, a lot of that responsibility was put back onto Herbert. And
that's so Chargerific, isn't though, the whole Linsley thing? Like, what does that happen to?
Yeah, it's just like reverting back to Corey Linsley. Well, this problem didn't happen with Corey Linsley. No, there's a reason for that not happening. And Herbert shouldn't need somebody like Corey Linsley to actually be doing that now. The guy's a fantastic center.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like this topic, but we should save that for another day. I do love that we're still picking up a few viewers here and there. Guys, this is a work in progress. 80 and I, and of course our other co-host Taylor, whom 80 will endorse as highly as I am, and even higher. Correct?
Yeah, Taylor's wonderful. She's no nonsense. She's very factual about everything. Taylor is wonderful. You will absolutely love her when you get her on the show.
We're going to get this shit all figured out. We had a little situation with the producer that, kind of didn't see what we saw, and we're going to get this shit all ironed out. This is a very fun sweep of the Chiefs, guys. We were real young. The last time this shit happened. Chargers sweeping the Chiefs. I don't know. They just played in a few Super Bowls, won a couple of them. This has been BoltBlitz Uncut, and it's kind of just the way we do things. It's a little sloppy.
Yeah.
No, we don't yet go with, but we're going to figure it out. My kids literally and their friends, we've been snowed in and iced in here in Michigan. And then my kids' friends all wanted to come over and have sleepovers. So we had my son's friends and then my daughter's friends just packing in the house and being crazy. So they all informed me that if you want the news first, you go to TikTok.
Yeah.
So we're going to figure out TikTok. We're going to do some weird shit here and just see what the fuck we can do. Chargers sweep the Chiefs, guys.
Yeah. So, we are. So, forwarding that, we are going to be going on to most of the other platforms. We're going to be changing a lot of stuff around. We had a producer on board who gave us a lot of bad advice about what we should and shouldn't be doing, and we're going to do what we want from going forward. We're going to figure it all out. We'll put the show Facebook Live. We'll put the show on YouTube. We're going to be everywhere. We're just in the process of relaunching the show again. And then we'll cover towards the back end of the year. Then we'll start going towards tape for the Combine. And then next year, we will be back bigger than we are this year.
Bigger, better. And AD and Taylor and our reporter, Jessica Thompson, they're aware of what's going on. If you guys knew what we were working on behind the scenes, we get you even more jacked up, but we're not allowed to do any of those things for NDAs and all the other reasons. But when 80 starts talking about 2026, it's a big year for BoltBlitz.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for everybody tuning in. I'm Booga Peters on behalf of 80 Simons.
I'm 80 Simons.
Taylor Bloom.
Taylor Bloom, yes.
Thompson of BoltBlitz Uncut, which will eventually be BoltBlitz Unfiltered. Thanks for your time. We're signing out. Peace.